I'm Drew Scanlon. I'm exploring the world through the lens of games, and I'm doing it with the support of people like you on Patreon. Help us out at patreon.com/clothmap. The previous videos in our Mongolia series touched on the Naadam Festival's 3 games of men, but there's actually a 4th. Known as knucklebone shooting, it's more of a game than the other historical events. After all, medieval soldiers training hard at horsemanship, wrestling, and archery eventually needed some way to unwind. Also called anklebone shooting, the game is somewhat similar to bowling.
Nice to meet you.
Senja Sarin is the 2013 champion of knucklebone shooting.
Archery, in comparison to knucklebone shooting, is more for the battle, for soldiers, but this is a more peaceful game. People can play it inside their home. So they shoot the targets from 6 meters away.
That distance being the diameter of the average Mongolian gur.
They would sit on the other side, and the target would be on the other side, and they would play it inside their gur.
Using a wooden slide, which can be remarkably ornate, the shooter flicks a puck made from deer antlers, which the animal sheds periodically. The goal is to knock over as many of the targets as possible. The target bones traditionally come from sheep, though the ones in this competition are artificial.
They form a team of 6 people, and they play 3 rounds, and they need to shoot 15 targets altogether. And if they finish the 15 targets first, they take some targets from other team and they start to shoot that.
Oh, they shoot the other team's targets.
Yeah, and
okay.
Whoever has the more points would win the game.
Okay.
Incredibly, in the midst of warming up for this national tournament, one team offered to let me try.
Try your hardest.
True to form, none of my shots even reached the target.
It looks a lot easier than it is. I kept wanting to flick it like you'd flick anything, but they're having me put my thumb on my first knuckle, and I feel like I can't flick it as hard. It was going in the right direction, I just couldn't get the power.
They actually said that you're very good. You're able to learn it. They said you're getting close.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'll take close.
Yeah, that was close.
Barakla.
A few years ago, the knucklebone shooting competition was represented in the UNESCO's Intangible Heritage List. Even before that, people considered it the 4th game of men.
Because of its status as the 4th game of Naadam, I didn't really have a sense of whether Mongolians cared about knucklebone shooting as much as the other events. Until the Secret Service showed up. The man in blue is the President of Mongolia. So yeah, knucklebone games are legit. And, as I'd soon learn, take many forms. In a lot of ways, the capital city of Ulaanbaatar feels like any city. But drive just a few minutes outside of it and you're presented with a never-ending sea of rolling hills. This is the Mongolian Steppe. Just off the main highway sits the home of a family of farmers, who had invited us to spend the night in their extra gur. Being welcomed into a Mongolian home involves a lot of things. First, I accepted a bottle of snuff.
Inhale it through your nose.
Okay.
And the other one.
It was like snorting incense.
Yeah. And then,
And it does sting a little bit.
yeah, it does, right? But it's supposed to be healthy though.
Okay, I'll believe you.
Next, a sip of a popular Mongolian drink, arak, or fermented horse milk.
It's like a sour yogurt, but it's got kind of a beery tang to it. It's not bad. I kind of like it.
Then came some cookies made from cow milk, which varied from soft to hard and sweet to sour.
It's like a cheese cookie.
With introductions out of the way, we got down to business. When thrown, a sheep's knucklebone lands with one of 4 sides up. Each orientation has a name. Camel is the concave side opposite horse, the convex side. Goat has 2 humps, indicating the head and rump, opposite sheep, which is more rounded, like a puffy white sheep. The patriarch of the family rolled 4 bones to determine our fortune.
And because this is 4 different types, this is the best fortune. Because you have your goat, sheep, horse, and camel all together. This is one of the best fortune. Yeah, 4 different. This is why you'll have the best fortune.
Oh, fantastic.
First up was a game a lot like billiards. After dropping the bones from your hands, any 2 bones showing the same side up can be shot one against the other with a flick. If you connect without hitting any other bones, you pick one up and keep going. Sometimes another bone will block your shot. If the group lets you, you can attempt to pick up a bone using only your thumb and drop it on your target. If you're good, your turn can last until there are no more moves. The game ends when one person has collected all the bones.
Are these the same?
Discerning each one took some practice, but I eventually got it.
Didn't want to hit the other one.
Second was a game called horse racing. A line of bones is arranged horse up as a scoreboard. Players take turns rolling 4 bones, moving 1 space for each horse they roll. However, if a great fortune roll of all 4 sides comes up, the player moves 4 spaces.
That's 4 different ones.
Hey,
Great
look at that.
fortune, so you move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
First to the finish wins.
You get to keep your horse. That's your reward.
Really?
Yeah,
I get
that's
to
your
keep
prize.
this?
Yes.
Firefly.
The third game was basically jacks and was definitely the hardest. It's often played with a chain of some kind, like a necklace. Each player throws the chain in the air and tries to separate a handful of bones from the center pile before catching the chain. On the second throw, the player then tries to pick up as many of those bones as possible.
Just went everywhere.
Dropping either throw results in a pass.
Okay. Yeah. 2, I'm on the board.
Finally came a game called Turtle, the only game to include a more familiar 6-sided die. First, a turtle-shaped design is constructed. Each segment of the turtle corresponds to a face on the die, depending on how many bones make up that segment. For example, each leg has 5 fingers, so if you roll a 5, you get to keep those 5 bones. If there's no segment to match your roll, you'll have to replace a segment with that number of bones, reducing your stash. The winner is the player with the most bones when the turtle has been completely dismantled. We played for a long time. Most of the games take a while to conclude, which makes sense if your goal is to keep yourself occupied indoors during, say, a brutal Mongolian winter. Down the hill and across a road sits the family's land, which, as it's public land, is shared with a number of other families. We joined a picnic already in progress. Naadam is more than a festival, it's a week-long national holiday. People take this opportunity to visit family and friends. Some from this group came from 500 kilometers away. Others hadn't seen the rest in 5 years. Still, they invited us to share this giant plate of lamb.
Oh my gosh, that's good. That was just carved off of a bone down here.
Would you like to try some sheep's fat?
Some sheep's fat. Creamy.
There were drinks too.
So let's cheers.
Tula.
Tula.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a good burn. And it's tasty. Our host family owns a small herd of livestock. Here they showed us the process of making the infamous arak.
So when you keep some of the arak for a long time, it ferments itself, so it could be used as a base. A little bit of arak, already made arak, is added, and then they need to stab and jab it for quite a long time to make it fermented.
So how long do they let it ferment before they drink it?
About 2 to 3 days. This is almost fermented. So I think we are ready. I think it's ready to be tasted right now.
It's smooth. It's tangy, but it's smooth.
So that's very freshly made arak for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was right out of that barrel, so.
It should go without saying that this is pretty different from the life I'm used to. But when playing games with the family, I felt right at home, like it was any other holiday with my family. The visual trappings of our cultures can be different, but it's hard to deny that everyone on Earth just wants to eat, drink, and be merry. Cloth Map is possible only because of our supporters on Patreon. If you liked this video and want to keep seeing more like it, we'd love to have you with us.